Hi everyone. This week's art journal prompt is Eastern Promise. Now I'm taking my inspiration from a Japanese themed napkin, so I'm going to try and work with that. Now I apologise for the state of my hands. I had a plan in mind. I wanted to use my Radiant Rain shimmer mists and they've clogged. I couldn't get them to work. So I took them apart to see if I could clean them, and hence the mess I'm in. So I have decided to stick with the Radiant Rain, but I've had to pour the colour I want to use into this pot here, and I'm going to use it as a watercolour. This colour here is the pink grapefruit, and so I'm going to put this onto my page. I'm using watercolour paper this week as opposed to mixed media paper, just because I think it'll soak up this liquid a bit better. So I'm going to put a nice layer of this on. I want to try and blend it out as best I can. We shall see. I just absolutely love these Radiant Rains, but unfortunately the mists do have a tendency to clog, and I just don't have much luck with them at all, which is such a shame because there's that much mica in them and the colours are just gorgeous. But hey ho, hey ho. Right, so I'm going to go off now and give this a dry, and then I'll be back. Okay, so this is how I'm looking, and if I tilt this, I don't know whether you can pick up some of that shimmer, but it's just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. It's such a shame that I can't get these to work properly. But what I want to do now is go over the top of my design with some white paint. This stencil here reminds me of Blossom. I can't remember what make it is. I'm sorry guys, I've got a feeling it was one that I had from a craft exhibition, so it could well be unbranded. But I'm just going to go over the top of my design like this. The stencil isn't big enough for this page, so I'm going to have to move it when I get to the ends. Okay, so this is how my page is looking, and I've popped a piece of my napkin on some freezer paper to stabilise it, to make it easier to cut my lady out. This is the napkin here, and this was one that Olmert Olsen sent me in Happy Mail excuse me, for my embellishment challenge. And I just love how that looks, and I don't want this to get too busy if I can help it. Now, I've grabbed a piece out of a Japanese book. This is the Hiroshige page. I have a lot of Japanese prints in my living room from a book by Taschen that I got from TK Maxx for $9.99. And I've used a lot of these pictures and mounted them in heavy frames, and they just look absolutely beautiful. But I've got quite a few pages left, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fussy cut this blossom tree here. Now I've cut my tree out, and this is what I've got. And I also decided to go over with some of the pink grapefruit over a strip of this paper here, and I just absolutely love that. And then I've torn around the edges and I've gone over that with the pink grapefruit as well and splattered some on, and I'm thinking maybe I can layer that onto the page. I don't know, something is jarring with me at the moment. I think it's this pink. I think it's just a bit too pink. The piece of paper or the picture that I cut the tree out as well, there was some Japanese writing on it, and I've cut that out because I think I might be able to use that somewhere. And there was also this piece here which I thought I might be able to incorporate, but I'm going to go off camera now and just have a think about what I might be able to do with this background. Right, now I've had a think about this, and I think the problem is that the pink is just clashing with the other colours that I've got going on in the background, so I've added some of the coral berry and some water, and I'm going to go over the top of this and see if I can just tone it down a bit and give it more of sort of like a peachy goldy Right, look. I'm getting there, and I'm starting to end up with something that looks reasonably cohesive. What I want to do though now that I've gone over the top of this with the coral, I've lost a lot of the detail from the stenciling I did in the background, and I've decided to come back in with this Dutch Doobadoo stencil just in this part here. This stencil is called, oh, hang on a second. This was a freebie that I got with the things that Sam bought me for Christmas. A5 flower window. And I'm using the Iridescent Gold by Sennelier for this layer here. Okay, so this is how we're looking, and I want to start gluing things down. I've gone around the outside of this piece of paper here with some of the gold as well. I'm going to use a Pritt stick, I think, to glue this down. Let me just grab a piece of parchment paper. And I'm just going to grab a credit card. To smush it down, and then I wanted my tree to go something like that, so we're going to add some glue to the back of the tree. I think I want that to go somewhere like that. What have I just done with that credit card now? Oh, where's that gone? Oh, here we go. It's because it's see-through, I couldn't see it. And then I want to add my lady. Now, where do I want her to go? Something like that, I think. And then I wanted some of this Chinese writing. I want this to go on here. Now I can't remember which way up it goes. Right, I'm going to have a think about this. I know that one goes that way up, but I'm not sure about that one. So let me have a look and I'll be back. So we're nearly there. This is how I'm looking, and I just want to finish off the parasol, sort of as it was on the napkin. Her sort of spokes come out like this, and so I'm going to go around all of these and then I'll come back. Oh, this is what I've got so far. I forgot to mention that before I glued this piece down here, I'd inked around the edges with some of the gold Sennelier paint, and I've also done exactly the same thing with this piece over here. And then I've added some highlights. I've gone over with a graphite pencil sort of round the Japanese lady, around the tree, and around this little Japanese marking here. I'd love to know what these say. And then I added a quote as well. I just felt that it needed something in the top right hand corner, so I've used a piece of this ribbon. This was some of the ribbon that Rain sent me in my Happy Mail earlier on in the week, and it just looked like blossoms, so I just felt that it was just perfect to mount a little quote on. So this is from the Tim Holtz Chit Chat Words, Capture Memories. And then I've got two more things that I am going to add. I've got this here. I've got a wax stamp kit in a calligraphy set, and I melted some wax and sort of put my stamp in, and I'm going to add that there just because I just think it looks nice. And also I've put some gold paint out on my palette, and I just want to add some gold to the centre of the flowers here, just finishing touches. Well, of course, once I was out with the gold, I couldn't stop playing with it. I reached for my gold Jelly Roll pen, and I've added some more gold detail to the parasol. So I've added it to the spokes. I've left the tips black, and then I've added some to the underside of the parasol, and it now looks as if she's got this gorgeous gold headdress, which I really like. I also used a metallic Jelly Roll pen just to add some detail to the braids in her hair. And then I've added some gold dots to the parasol handle, and then gold to her dress as well. So I've edged all of this in gold, and I just think it looks lovely. She's got a gold trim on her wristband as well, and I am calling that done. I've added a bit of blush as well to her cheeks, just to sort of bring her to life a little bit. So I hope you like that. I look forward to seeing what your take is on this Eastern Promise prompt, and if you like it, please give me a thumbs up and let me know what you think in the comments below. I always sort of love to hear your comments. Anyway, take care everyone, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.